Hey guys, welcome once again to Career Fitness, the interview prep guide for mid-career professionals between 6 to 14 years of experience bracket. Hi, my name is Mayuresh, and what we do in these sessions is take a question per episode and then answer that question, or at least help the aspirant structure the responses to those questions. So let's look at what is the question that we have for today. What does failure mean to you? This is one of the trickiest questions which comes across, and people are typically not very well prepared. I would not say equipped, but not prepared to answer this question. This, along with the question, which is typically like, can you name your top three weaknesses, is one of those questions which stumps a lot of people. It is absolutely imperative that you are prepared to respond to this question. So let's first understand, why is this asked? As an interviewer, as a founder of a company, as a hiring manager, what he or she is looking at is whether you are able to open up yourself in a graceful way, in a social way, in a meaningful way, tell people what were those failures, and be composed throughout. It is again a question which helps them understand your maturity. It helps them understand your ownership, whether you are able to take responsibility, whether you are able to own your failures, fail gracefully, and rebound. So that's the key thing, that what people are looking out for in this particular question. It's an excellent opportunity for you to make that impression that you always wanted to make over here. So it's very important to understand what is a failure and what is not a failure, and what is not a failure. So what exactly is not a failure? Say you're trying to achieve a certain thing, and typically that requires you to exhaust a few options, try out a few experiments A, B, and C, and see something of that works. So if B works and A and C does not work, then it doesn't mean that A and C are failures. I think the experiment is designed to evaluate the options A, B, and C, and B actually worked. So the experiment is a success and it's not a failure. So the iterations that typically go on when you try to establish that use case to success, those typically are not counted as failures. There's again a very thin line between what is a failure and what is not a failure, but you do not want to quote a trivial example, an example where you essentially know that you ultimately succeeded, but those were just the stepping stones towards that success. So just make sure that you don't make this very frivolous. You bring out a genuine shortcoming, you bring out a genuine failure, and that happens. So that's the key thing over here. So what is a failure? So please listen to this part very, very clearly. When you are attempting, when you're trying to achieve something, when you're out to get something, and in the process, despite your best effort, despite your contingency plannings, despite your best and the highest quality of plan and highest quality of execution, you do not get the intended outcome, that's when you call it as a failure. It is very important to make sure that the quality of planning, the quality of execution, the quality of retries are all very, very top notch, and still you did not succeed. And it does not mean that you are incompetent. Please, absolutely not. What it essentially means is that you are bringing out your resilience. You are bringing out that you understand what are the factors which can be controlled, what are the factors that you cannot be controlled. You have put in your 150%, and still things didn't go as per plan after having tried enough number of times, after having retried a few times also. So that's the key thing. You have to make sure the quality of effort, the quality of planning, and the resilience comes out very, very, very strongly. Things don't work out, and it's perfectly possible and is perfectly acceptable. People understand. Anyone who's run a business, anyone who's running a business will completely be able to empathize with that particular part. So bring out your resilience, bring out your risk mitigation strategies, sensibilities, plans, ability to foresee things, ability to chart out alternate pathways towards your successful end goal. So just make sure that you're able to communicate all of it and then admit that, you know what, it didn't work out. And that's okay. And that is perfectly okay. But just make sure that you're communicating something which is very, very legitimate, something which is not frivolous, something that is real. And I'm sure you'll be able to just dig deep and find something very, very valuable to communicate. Make sure this is an opportunity to have an authentic conversation. Perfect. That brings us to the last point, where we communicate that you understand that there are controllables and there are uncontrollables. There are things that you can control in life and there are things that you cannot control in life, and you understand the both, and you have the emotional maturity, the social, graceful way of dealing with it and being able to articulate and communicate it. So just make sure that you're bringing these points out. Awesome. I hope this helps you tailor your response to what failure means to you. I didn't want to bring out a specific example or what failure means to me, but how do you go about answering this question in a real world scenario? So that's the thing. Just to summarize, make sure that you're having an authentic conversation with the interviewer. All the best. Thank you so much. My name is Mayuresh. Thanks for watching this video on Career Fitness, an interview prep guide for mid-career professionals between 6 to 14 years of experience bracket. If you have any questions, put it over here and I'll make sure that I answer it next time we do this. Thank you so much and bye.